Good morning. This is Pastor Jeff, and this is our daily lectionary readings for Tuesday, December 12th, 2023. With it being Tuesday, we're still reflecting back on what happened at church on Sunday. Psalm 27 is once again going to be our psalm reading, continuing in the book of Isaiah, but jumping backwards for the Old Testament reading, Isaiah 4, 2 through 6, and continuing in Acts, but jumping ahead to Acts 11, 1 through 18 for our New Testament reading. And we'll be once again reading it out of the Message, pretty much because of the psalm. Psalm 27. Light, space, zest. That's God. So with him on my side, I'm fearless, afraid of no one and nothing. When vandal hordes ride down, ready to eat me alive, those bullies and toughs, they fall flat on their faces. When besieged, I'm calm as a baby. When all hell breaks loose, I'm collected and cool. I'm asking God for one thing, only one thing, to live with him in his house my whole life long. I'll contemplate his beauty. I'll study at his feet. That's the only quiet, secure place in a noisy world. The perfect getaway, far from the buzz of traffic. God holds me head and shoulders above all who try to pull me down. I'm headed for his place to offer anthems that will raise the roof. Already, I'm singing God's songs. I'm making music to God. Listen, God, I'm calling out at the top of my lungs. Be good to me. Answer me. When my heart whispered, seek God, my whole being replied, I'm seeking him. Don't hide from me now. You've always been right there for me. Don't turn your back on me now. Don't throw me out. Don't abandon me. You've always kept the door open. My father and mother walked out on me and left me, but God took me in. Point me down your highway, God. Direct me along a well-lighted street. Show my enemies whose sides you are on. Don't throw me to the dogs, those liars who are out there to get me, filling the air with their threats. I'm sure now I'll see God's goodness in the exuberant earth. Stay with God. Take heart. Don't quit. I'll say it again. Stay with God. Our Old Testament reading is Isaiah chapter 4, verses 2 through 6. And that's when God's branch will sprout green and lush. The produce of the country will give Israel's survival something to be proud of again. Oh, they'll hold their heads high, everyone left behind in Zion. All the disregards and rejects in Jerusalem will be reclassified as holy, alive, and therefore precious. God will give Zion's women a good bath. He'll scrub the blood-stained city of its violence and brutality, purge the place with the firestorm of judgment. Then God will bring back the ancient pillar of cloud by day and pillar of fire by night, and mark Mount Zion and everyone in it with his glorious presence, his immense protective presence, shade from the burning sun and shelter from the driving rain. Our New Testament reading comes from Acts chapter 11, verses 1 through 18. The news traveled fast, and in no time the leaders and friends back in Jerusalem heard about it, heard that the non-Jewish outsiders were now in. When Peter got back to Jerusalem, some of his old associates, concerned about circumcision, called him on the carpet. What do you think you're doing, rubbing shoulders with that crowd, eating what is prohibited, and ruining our good name? So Peter started from the beginning, laid it out step by step. Recently I was in town of Joppa praying. I fell into a trance and saw a vision, something like a huge blanket lowered by ropes at its four corners, came down out of heaven and settled on the ground in front of me. Milling around on the blanket were farm animals, wild animals, reptiles, and birds. You name it. It was there. Fascinated, I took it all in. Then I heard a voice. Go to it, Peter. Kill and eat. I said, Oh no, master. I've never so much as tasted food that wasn't kosher. The voice said again, If God says it's okay, it's okay. This happened 3 times, and then the blanket was pulled back into the sky. Just then, 3 men showed up at the house where I was staying, sent from Caesarea to get me. I'm sorry, my computer went blank. Just then, 3 men showed up at the house where I was staying, sent from Caesarea to get me. The Spirit told me to go with them, no questions asked. So I went with them, I and 6 friends, to the man who had sent me. He told us how he had seen an angel right in his own house, real as the next door neighbor, saying, Send to Joppa and get Simon, the one they call Peter. He'll tell you something that will save your life. In fact, you and everyone that you care for. So I started in, talking. Before I'd spoken half a dozen sentences, the Holy Spirit fell on them, just as he did on us for the first time. I remember Jesus' words, John baptized with water, you will be baptized with the Holy Spirit. So I ask you, if God gave the exact same gift to them as to us when we believed in the Master Jesus Christ, how could I object to God? Having it all laid out like that, they quieted down. And then, as it sank in, they started praising God. It's really happened. God has broken through to the other nations and opened them up to life. And here ends our readings for the day.